What do you get when you combine colonial wigs with rapping, Jessica?
Da 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 da.
Welcome back to Eye to Eye, Disney Through Our Eyes. I'm Kyle.
And I'm Jessica. And before we get started tonight, we just want to remind you to please subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our content.
Because you don't want to miss Jessica going da 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 da. Okay, I'll stop. I'm no promises. I might actually sing that a couple of times throughout this time.
The worst part about this is neither of us have good singing voices, so...
That's hurtful, but truthful. And
But
I will take that criticism.
we own up to our poor singing voices.
You are far better in your singing talents than me.
No.
But anyway, so enough about our singing. Let's talk about the singing here. This is our spoiler-filled review of Hamilton. Now, I'm aware that some of y'all out there have already seen this play in the theaters. We haven't. We're poor. We haven't been able to afford to go to New York or whenever it's come to our
We're
local.
just jealous. That's it.
I mean, I wouldn't call me as a jealous person.
I am.
This will get into the review of the stuff and about how everything I felt about the... That's weird. Do we call it a movie or do we call it a play?
Well, it's a play.
But it's in a movie form.
It's a play.
But it's in a movie.
But
I don't...
It's a play.
Okay, so I'm just going to call it whatever comes to mind. This movie play is very interesting. And we don't want to make sure we spoil anything for those of you that may not have seen it yet. So this is not the video for you. If you haven't seen it, come back another time. That being said, Jessica, I think, where do you want to start with this? You know, there's a lot of elements, music, characters. What's the first thing that you want to talk about on your mind?
I guess let's talk about the characters. There's a lot to talk about.
Which ones?
Obviously, Alexander Hamilton is our main character.
Is that who it's about?
Yeah. He's our main character. Do you know who he's played by?
Do you think... Wait, hold on. Do you think anybody didn't realize this was Alexander Hamilton before they started?
Yes. I guarantee you one person.
One person. So if you're that one person out there, Jessica just called you out on it. Yes, but Lin-Manuel Miranda, what a name, is Alexander Hamilton.
What a guy, though.
He's a good singer, an actor, and...
Man, composer, author, rap artist, like, all of the things.
Well, are you literally reading his Wikipedia file now? Like,
no, I'm just making it up as I go.
I mean, all of that was on there.
All the things that he did, and he did a lot.
He did.
Like, this wouldn't be a thing without Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I think it was your mom when you guys were talking on the phone after we watched this. It's like, just weird. Like, how does your mind work that way to compose not only a play, but to incorporate the music the way you did, also do things like incorporate very modern takes on it. How does all that work?
I don't know, but that's what I loved so much about this. I didn't realize how modern this was because here, you know, we think of it as like just a traditional musical. Mm-hmm. You know, I think you and I were both super surprised when they had rap and R&B and just all of these different musical elements.
I was not expecting the rapping. It was like, okay, here
awesome.
we are.
It was completely awesome.
It was very good. I was very pleased to see how creative it was with the way Lin-Manuel worked all that stuff together. A little jarring at times in some areas where I thought I was like, okay, I see what you were trying to do there, but it was a little, not off-putting, but kind of like a little just... I wasn't ready for it so much as it was bad, you know, that type of thing. One of the things, jump right ahead, was the ending. That one was like...
That's way ahead. Okay.
Well, but I was just saying, like, I even said to you, I was like, that's it at the end of the movie? I was like, that's how it ends? I expected a little bit more, especially with the verboseness, which they had, like, gone throughout the rest of the movie. I expected one big... you know, punch at the end. That kind of thing.
I mean, I kind of expected Eliza to scream again. You know, like when she screamed when her son died, I just kind of thought, oh, that's how we're going to end it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that would have been, very loud and boisterous way to end things. It would have been a very tragic way to end, too, on that note. Yeah. By the way, there's your first spoiler. It's a history lesson as well, is that Alexander Hamilton's son dies in a duel, just like he did. So there you go.
Kind of ironic.
Did you like him in the role of Alexander Hamilton?
Well, of course. Who wouldn't?
I mean, I didn't know if you could think of someone better for the role. No. What's the next character that comes to mind for you?
Thomas Jefferson.
And why is that?
Thomas Jefferson was the comic relief that we didn't realize that we needed. First of all, his costume. The purple was amazing. I just thought it was so fun, and it just kind of, everybody else was wearing more muted colors, and...
True. Well, it's Thomas Jefferson.
Exactly.
He's a very eccentric guy.
Exactly. And it portrayed him perfectly. His, you know, his voice, his singing, his songs.
I will say this, when is another one of those jarring moments when it came out, or he came out and was just like, hello, everybody. What's been going on since I've left?
He reminded me a lot of King George.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm here. Look at me.
So, in a way, they were kind of villains in this.
Yeah,
but they were
for sure.
lovable villains. And the true villain, if you want to call him a villain at the end of this, or the foil, as we talked about the other night on Trivia Night, was Aaron Burr, and the one who actually ends up killing Alexander Hamilton.
And it's not what I expected. I just, like, I knew it was coming, but I just didn't expect it.
Did you know the historical story before this, or was that all a shock to you?
Like, I remembered it after everything happened. I was like, oh yeah, Aaron Burr did kill Hamilton. Like, it was all coming back to me, but I didn't remember it when I was watching the movie or the play.
I liked in that scene where they kind of, you know, used somebody to represent the bullet coming and things were slowing down.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
That was really unique.
But then I thought, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And then, it did.
And then, it did. You just like them on the I liked how he, like, faked his death. He was, like, just hanging there.
Yeah, that was good.
I was like, okay, that's a little... Again, it's one of those things I wasn't expecting that's how they were going to interpret someone dying, but it worked.
Well, and I liked how they, you know, he was, like, laying over, and then they were, like, rowing the boat back to...
Yeah. So sing row, row, row your boat.
Yeah,
I've got Alexander Hamilton's body. No. Just took a really dark turn on this one. King George III, played by Jonathan Groff, who
AKA Kristoff. Clip-clop. Flip-flop.
That's a Walt Disney World reference for those of you who have not been. It's from the Frozen show. Seeing him in that type of role was interesting.
First of all, it was hilarious. I think we all know what I'm talking about when I'm going to mention him spitting everywhere.
You mean the splash zone, as people are calling it.
Splash zone. That was hysterical.
And now we understand why they want 6 feet in the coronavirus pandemic. Thank you, Jonathan Groff. For that.
Right. But also, it just showed how passionate he was. Like, he was into this, so...
Just his face, like, when he was singing, too. Like, the eyes, he was, like... And, like
so creepy. And that little dance he did where, like, his head was completely still.
And then he, like, jerked that way and, like, looked to completely, like... That was... It was a great way to represent some of the caricature natures we have of these historical figures, since we can't we can't meet them. So it was just really unique to see that in and of itself. So let's hit some other characters that we want to mention throughout this. We've talked about the main ones here. What's some other ones that stuck out?
Well, I've talked about my favorites. I think you need to mention your favorites.
Oh, you talk about James Madison. Like, that was a good one, too. He just had a very small role in this, very few lines. Also, the actor played 2 different roles, just like Thomas Jefferson one did. But
Thomas Jefferson one did not?
Yes, he did.
Who did he play?
He played, was it Lafayette in the first act?
Oh.
So those guys had 2 roles, and then they both played them very differently and very well.
Well, I knew Philip Hamilton played 2 roles.
Yes.
So lots of people. And Peggy. Sister Peggy had 2 roles.
Yes, she did.
She played the mistress and the sister.
So she was like
ironic.
The forgotten sister and then the scandalous lady in all this, who ended up kind of... I think Alexander Hamilton's story, it shows that he was his own downfall, but, you know, she kind of was the beginning of the end of all that for him. His ambition got to him, his drive to be the best, got him into situations where it was very, very, very unfortunate for him, and it just kind of all snowballed until he made his friend so mad that he shot him. What if we did duels back in this day?
Glad we don't, but I feel like kind of people still do that, and that's why there's
on
murderers
social media.
In jail. No, there's a lot of murderers in jail that just got angry in a fit of rage and just shot somebody.
But I'm being metaphorical in what I'm saying. I feel like social media is basically duel matches now. You're
not wrong.
What is the most, like, outlandish thing I can say about you to make you cry and go home?
YouTube.
Well, here we are. Just... All right, well, let's talk about the music real quick.
Okay.
There are too many songs in this to talk about and count. Just maybe we'll go through some of our ones that stuck out to us. 23 in each act, and there were 2 acts. 23
in each act?
23 music pieces, not necessarily... I wouldn't call like a 53 or 53-second little monologue singing rap thing as a song.
Singing rap thing.
But because it was so unique, it wasn't rap, it wasn't singing, it was like a combination of everything.
Yeah.
But what's some of the ones that stuck out to you?
I mean, obviously, King George's song.
Da, 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 da.
And how he kept, like, coming back to it. Like,
Yes.
even though there were different titles of it, and, you know, it happened during, you know, the first act and the second act, there were obviously different lyrics to it, but that da, 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 that creepy little thing, it was always there, and I loved that.
And he was like a very good break from the action, too.
Yeah.
Like, while they were changing set pieces or moving on to a different part of the story, here you're getting just this, like, hey, it's important to the story because he's actually involved in it, but
But
they
kind of not.
made it comedy and just kind of changed the tone from set piece to set piece on that
I know
one.
which one you liked, though.
What I miss with Thomas Jefferson. That one, completely, like, okay, I'm not a play person.
He's not
unless it's
a
like,
musical person.
unless it's like a Disney related thing. I went and saw I haven't seen the Broadway version of Beauty and the Beast, but I've been to a Broadway-esque showing of Beauty and the Beast. Love that. That's great. But this one where it's complete singing throughout the whole thing, it kind of takes me out of it a little bit. So the first act,
I was not about music. Like,
I was there, but I was not there. And then all of a sudden, Thomas Jefferson comes in, what I missed, and he was like speaking to me, what I missed in the first act of this thing. So I loved it so much. Comedy, catchy, all that good stuff. Anything else that got to you? If you look on here, I think Stay Alive, I remember on that. That would be enough. That was when they used in those very solemn moments for Alexander Hamilton. And there was that melody in there.
Well, with him and Eliza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was never satisfied.
Right. And she was saying, like, our life should be enough. And
I should be enough.
Yeah.
Your son should be enough. And
that was kind of sad.
very similar to The Greatest Showman. Which
I thought the exact same thing. Oh my gosh.
it's like we're married or something, and we have the same thoughts.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I love musicals. I love music. You don't. So the fact that we had the same thought about something that references music is a big win for me.
I even said it in our trailer reaction for this. By the way, we'll put a link up there for that if you haven't seen it. About it being very Greatest Showman-esque.
No, don't think we're comparing it to The Greatest Showman, because we're
No,
not.
I'm comparing it to The Greatest Showman.
Oh, I'm
very
not.
similar. Where
They're
they
not similar at all. But
yes, they took a different time period and put a lot of modern takes on. Think about the songs, the way they were dancing in The Greatest Showman. This
I'm
is
gonna
very
give it
similar.
to you because you're passionate about it. But
Dadgummit, I'm passionate about something in this
no,
movie.
this is a play.
Excuse me, movie, play, whatever on this. I think we've hit the high points of this, though.
Yes.
The music, the characters, the comedy of it. The costumes were very great. I
They
think
were very great. Yes, they were.
they, I can't imagine what it was like to dance in those things with those tails and those buttons and all that stuff. But they looked very good.
Yeah.
I really liked everything, the set, that little turny thing in the middle
That
of
was
it.
awesome. Yes.
How
And
they
you notice there
used-
were 2 of those.
I thought there was, but I wasn't sure.
I really, really liked that.
They used that to symbolize like time and like they're walking through the streets and things like that.
I was really impressed that the set honestly didn't change that much throughout the whole play.
Oh yeah, it didn't. All right, so now we want to know from you. These are all our thoughts about everything here. We've talked about our favorite songs, our favorite characters. We want to know from you in the comments below. What was your favorite thing about this? Let us know down in the comments section below. What else should they do?
If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our content.
And that's all we have for you in this edition of Eye to Eye, but until we assemble again,
May the force be with you.
and we'll see you real soon.
Bye.